Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another Final Fantasy FFIX video, and today we're going to be talking about Final Fantasy IX Part 2. In the review, we're going to be going over Steiner and Quina, and also Garland New Vision Awakening. We will actually be talking about his New Vision Awakening. Alright, so Steiner's TMR is pretty bad for this point in the game. Like, that's awful, but it's just a TMR, I guess. The S TMR is very similar to Radar, where it doesn't have a lot of defense on it for some reason, but at least he gets 500 flat defense, so I know about that part at least. So, in essence, basically, he's just a different version of Radar. He has a Brave Shift form, unlike Radar. But there really isn't much else to differentiating besides the mitigations, I guess. So he has Omni Cover, 85% physical mitigation versus Beast and Plants. So that might be actually pretty useful on Clash of Wills. And maybe at some point, if there's a Beast and Plant enemy that only does physical attacks, I guess this would be the guy who you would want to bring. He has 50% physical and magical mitigation versus Avian and Stone. And on his base LB, I believe he also has 75% mitigation against dragons. 200%, he has the 200% lightning and light resist and other things on green magic, so I guess that's something. Moving on. Only 4 turns for the Brave Shift, similar to all of the ones that run this category. Since they're trans shift, only 4 turns. And they gave him a lot of his old moves from his 5-star form for some reason instead of giving something new, so they just copy and pasted. They do this a lot because I don't understand why. Like, it's not like it's super, hard to put new moves in, right? There's hardly a difference between forms, really. There really isn't much of a difference between shift form and base form. Besides the LBs, there's not much difference, which is stupid. And he doesn't really have anything special about him whatsoever, unlike his 5-star form where he had Reflect for Vivi on his LB. He doesn't have Reflect at all. So yeah, I'm gonna give him a 5. Pretty disappointing. I was expecting a lot better out of this, out of a New Vision Steiner, and he's just kind of not much to say about him. He's just another version of Radar. He has different imbues, but I think Radar is better. So moving on. So we have Quina here, who is probably what people are looking forward to the most. Quina, because she only had a free 5-star before. Her STMR unfortunately doesn't have a lot of magic on it, only 227. 150% Earth Amp. She has 180 times mod boost for the Brave Shift LB. So that's okay, I guess. She has 30% store buff on a cooldown and also 35% Spear and Peril. I'm not gonna mention, you guys know by now that people are gonna units are gonna have killers, they're gonna have TDH or True Dual Wield at this point, so not really worth mentioning all those things because they're basically always gonna have them now. I'll mention them if they don't have them, of course, but yeah. So there really isn't much to say about Quina in that aspect of strengths. Unfortunately, there's a lot to say about weaknesses. The blue magic isn't really scaled that well. Some of it kind of is, a little bit, but there's a lot of that's not that good anymore. So we didn't get a frog drop or anything that does insane damage, unfortunately. I wish we did. The only store buff is on the cooldown, and they do this a lot on mages now. There's no real ways of getting store buffs besides the cooldown, and that's it. So after you use her cooldown and you do her LB the next turn, that's it. That's all she's got going on for the next few turns. Really just mediocre damage, even fully built up with 150% amp and the cooldown, using her Brave Shift LB. There's not much going on. And there's not even really any redeeming qualities at all. She doesn't even have 40% Spear and Peril to make up for the fact that her weapon is not as strong. And she's using a spear, which isn't really, the most meta weapon, really. So getting her a 6 out of 10, she can do damage. She can chain 27 hits, but it's there's not much going on. There's not much going on for her. So unfortunately, you're gonna give her another low score. I don't know. Do they not like Final Fantasy IX anymore? Final Fantasy IX is a hype game. Like, a lot of people, including myself, love Final Fantasy IX, but they seem to be super undertuning them for some reason. I don't get it. I really don't get it at all. Alright, here we are with Garland, New Vision Awakening. He has 100 times mod boost on a cooldown. He now has quad cast enabled at the start of battle, as long as you equip his TMR or STMR. Can be built in TDH now. He has 100% chain cap. His other chain cap is tied to dual wielding. He is given multiple killers, which is nice, and 350 times dark magic finisher with the cooldown activated, of course. So he's only as strong as Dark Rain without any crowns, and he doesn't have any strong amps. Like he only has 30% amp, so no store, and also no store buffs on like Dark Rain. So definitely kind of hurts that he has to basically equip Dark Rain's TMR and use it a whole bunch of times to even amass any kind of damage on his LB / SLB. Well, as SLB, I guess is what I mean. And no strong amps, like I mentioned, only 30%. So Melissa might be able to help out with that, I guess, if you want to use him. And he doesn't get a huge amount of mod buffs for his ability chaining, which I was assuming he was gonna at least 200 times, but he didn't even get that. He only got like 50 times. So not even good enough. And no black magic, there's no meteors or anything like that this time around for this kind of guy. He didn't have any black magic anyways, but I just thought I'd mention that in case if people are wondering, oh, does he have meteor? Nope. So unlike last time, the New Vision Awakening does not save the banner, unlike Freya from before. Garland is kind of just a mediocre New Vision Awakening. Unfortunately, they didn't feel like they wanted to give him anything that special, so this whole month has been really incredibly disappointing for me, especially because I love Final Fantasy IX, like I've mentioned. It's probably my favorite Final Fantasy game. It would be probably the #1 for me. So seeing them come out with units like this is like a punch in the face, or a punch in the gut even. It's like they don't care enough because it's not Final Fantasy VII. Like if it's not Final Fantasy VII or FFBE, it doesn't seem like they care enough a whole lot about characters. So I think they should care about every single banner that they put out, but there's just like there's no passion in this at all. It doesn't seem like there's any passion in this at all in regards to making units. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about these units, and what do you guys think about my JP reviews? Do you guys think I should continue to do JP reviews or just not do them anymore because they keep being disappointing and most people don't care about JP units anymore? They only care about global units. So let me know in the comment section down below if you care about my JP reviews still, or should I just stop doing them entirely? Thank you guys for your comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.